Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. My name is Sean Paul from talosdrones. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install the brand new dual battery lift kit system from DJI. It also does come with the frame itself. It also comes with a front panel cover and also this little black cover for the battery cover. With that, you're also going to be using a electric screwdriver and a 2.5 bit. Okay guys, once you have everything ready, we are going to be, like I said, using this 2.5 bit and this electric screwdriver, and you're also going to be accessing the front panel connector, so you're going to have to be unscrewing some type of screws in here, which is 9 I believe. So from here I am going to be going to these front two right here, 1, 2, and then this is the spray frame cover, so they are different and I'll show you when they're side by side later. This is 4. We're gonna come up top, and there's 5 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get this middle one right here. And 5. And then you could just put the screws, 9 of them, anywhere to keep them organized. And then you are gonna pop this cover off. Usually just a little bit of force, comes right off. Slides right out. Perfect. And if I don't know if the camera wants to come over here. So these are different covers, as you can see. One of them is smooth. You basically go without your finger. And this other one has notches. So this is the dual battery lift kit system. You can see those notches. I don't know if they can see it, but it's right here and right here. So you're gonna need this configuration for the dual battery lift kit system. And you cannot use the spray front panel connector with the dual battery lift kit system. You can't. So we're not just done yet. We're gonna make our way over here again, and we're gonna be removing this cover, as like I said. So there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not hard, they're the same bit too. There's 1, these are smaller screws, so don't lose them. And then now this piece comes right off. It's like almost like rubber / plastic. And then you're gonna be hanging on to these just in case you ever wanna switch back to the older spray tank. So always have that. But we are gonna get our new dual kit lift system cover to the battery cover. So they just it slides right on like that. Make sure everything's flush. There's very little wiggle room, so that's okay. 4. And that's it for this portion of the cover. You're basically done with that. Now come back around and grab our right dual battery lift kit system, those notches. And for this one, it's the same thing as putting on the regular other cover. All you're gonna do is make sure everything's lining up, nice and flushed. If it's not flushing, then you can just wiggle it back up and make sure you hear everything go off. Everything's flush from the back, front, perfect. We grab our 9 screws. We'll come up here. Boom. Alright guys, that's the portion of installing the new cover and the little battery cover for the dual lift kit system. With that, all you're gonna need now is preferably 2 people to help you move the frame, the top portion of the frame, to the lift kit system. Make sure you guys are latching the system to the frame itself. You don't wanna be missing that or it will throw up errors. But make sure this is fully clipped on, it's not going anywhere. Now we can move our way to plugging in the dual lift kit system. So for this one, same thing, it's like almost dropping the battery. You're just gonna, there's no real way, but you can just, once you get it like this, you're gonna press on and push down. And then once you push down, you can move the wires, but this doesn't really matter. But you can tell that if you try to give a pull, it's not going anywhere. And to release it, all you're gonna do is pull these tabs in and then basically wiggle, 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 and then it's gonna come right out. But we are gonna install it, so I'm gonna put this like that, as so. All right guys, once you have done connecting your top frame to your bottom frame, you're also going to be connecting as well this plug as well. Don't forget about this plug. This is also to the frame. We also are going to be using 2 batteries for this one. Like I said, dual battery lift kit system. So same as dropping in any regular battery, just gonna drop it in, set it, don't turn it on just yet. And I believe if you turn one on, it turns on the other. So we're gonna be checking if that works. And if it doesn't work, it's most likely an update. You guys gotta have to do an update. So once that comes on, you can come here, turn it on, bam. The other one should be turning on. Bam, like that. Now once you turn it on, it should be automatically connecting. And if not, you guys can perform an update if you need to update if it doesn't turn on both of the batteries at the same time. But you can hit begin. And as I said, it comes up with the safety guidance on that. The payload, you know how to sway, how to fly the drone when it's in payload. You can click I got it. And with that, you can get this out of the way first. But we're gonna make sure we're on the right mode. So you can say the route manual. We are gonna click Agras lift. Agras lift, perfect. And also, it's a pretty neat feature. Once you click that, it'll tell you what's wrong with the drone, why you can't lift it. But as you can see right here, the very first one, you want to make sure both batteries are at the same charge. For this one, they're at different charges right now, so we're not able to use the payload. But don't worry, this is just an explanation video on what to do and how to do it. We're gonna click out of that, and as you say, everything's that. On the right side, you do have a few options on the discard cable, which is basically letting go the payload. With that, you can go to the top right. Top right is going to be all your flight settings, you know, altitude simulation, all that, RC loss, hover, return to home, anything like that. With that, it's also a lift setting. Click that. You do refresh the location, you know, auto balance, so it'll literally do it for you. So make sure that payload's not swinging back and forth. With that, you have your threshold, all that, etc. With that, you also have your calibration. So if you want to set your calibration for your payload, you can set it to 0 or how it may be. And then you also have the force sensor update. With that, I highly recommend making sure this is up to date, everything's good, calibrated. All right, guys, once you guys are done playing with your settings, we are going to be taking this out into the field and seeing how this works.
Hello, everyone. This is Misael from Talosdrones. Sean Paul couldn't make it in. He called in sick today. But today we have the T100 with the lifting system. We're going to show you how it works. We're going to show you some features on the remote controller. We're going to set it up for you. We're going to do some tests to see the improvements and the performance of the lifting system. So let's get into the video. On the remote controller, we can select begin. And to start off, it's going to give you a couple warnings about the lifting system. One of the warnings is that cables can easily be tangled on power lines and tree branches, so it's always good to fly above them, at least to a safe distance above them. It also reminds you that light payload swings, if you do sudden speed ups or decelerations, the swinging can increase with light payloads that could potentially swing up and hit the propellers. So with light payloads, if you do high accelerations or sudden decelerations, it can cause the rope to swing up and potentially hit the propellers. So when you're not carrying a payload, DJI always recommends having a 2-pound counterweight on the end of the rope to prevent this. The aircraft will speed up and decelerate suddenly, so the braking distance to any obstacle, to any target, should be longer now. And when you have the lifting system, downward obstacle avoidance is disabled. So we have to keep in mind of the distance from the ground, and we have to also be careful when we decelerate or when we descend to the ground. Just keep that in mind. We can hit got it. And here on the left side, you'll see our auto speed. That's going to be our speed when we take off and begin our task. We can set our altitude as well. Here we're going to have it 98 feet. We're going to give it a couple tests, play around with it a bit in this video. The total length, that's going to be the length of your rope, whatever rope you're having attached. So make sure that you can set it up here. And then the return to home altitude should be higher than your total length of the rope. Just keep that in mind. It will give you a warning here on the right side that if your rope length is longer than your return to home altitude. Auto return when signal is lost, we can always have that enabled. Continue with single task when signal is lost, we can disable that. So on the T100 remote controller, we can add points with either the crosshair, the remote controller location, the location of the drone, and it even gives us a option to record the trajectory of the aircraft. In this case, we want to select the crosshair, and we want to go to the location where our drone crashed. So on the remote controller, I can go here, and this is about the location where it crashed. I'll add a point here. It adds a waypoint, and now I can come back to my location, zoom in, and I'll add another point. Let's say I'll add it over here. I'll select add. Now it adds 2 points. I'll tap on the second point and I'll add it as point B. So from here, I can take off. I'll add my auto speed. Auto speed, it's limited to 45. 42 is the safest. So we always recommend 42 feet per second when you're operating the lifting system. Auto altitude is going to be the altitude that is going to be flying once you begin your task. The total length is the length of the cable that you're going to be running. Make sure you got that. Under flight, your return to home altitude should be greater than the length of the cable that you're running. So keep that in mind. And with all those settings, let's take off and retrieve our crashed T20. So we'll say person near us. We're good. Confirm. We'll try it again.
Aircraft preparing to take off. Keep away for safety.
So here the drone starts descending. We're above destination. We're still a little bit high. So now we can take control of the aircraft and slowly start descending. Now, since we're not exactly under the drone, we're gonna move a little bit to the left. Since this is a bit of wind kicking up, then we'll go forward, a little bit high, forward. And this looks centered, so we're gonna go slightly down. There is a lot of wind, so our cable is right. He got it. Now we let our colleague wrap the cable around our drone to recover it. Now we can slowly start ascending. Who's gonna unhook it? Me? I think so. What up? So first impressions of the T100 lifting system, it's really cool. The fact that you're able to carry 2 batteries instead of the 1 really helps out. The battery time or the battery life is really gonna depend on how heavy your object, whatever it is whatever you're lifting. The safest lifting capacity for the lift system is 170 pounds. And that's gonna give you about the 9 to 10 minute flight time. Anything lower, it's gonna start to increase because of the weight. In this case, we have a small drone that we lifted. So before this, we performed a test, and right now we're actually at 61%. So with the dual batteries, you do get a lot of time, again, depending on how heavy your object is. The swaying control is extremely good. I didn't feel like I was losing control of the drone at any time. Overall, really good performance. The obstacle sensing, we didn't have any obstacles in this case, but I was looking at the LiDAR and it was detecting the terrain and some of the points, some of the obstacles here when it was coming back home. Now, what I do really want to test is the emergency cable discard, or the emergency brake that DJI gives in this lift kit. So now we're gonna connect a 60-pound bag, and we're gonna get it stuck somewhere, and we'll test that out and see how good it performs. So after performing the cable detachment test, we had to fly it back and forth into a couple of trees just to get the payload stuck. We were able to get it stuck, and surprisingly, it was really easy to discard the cable. Honestly, DJI has made it super simple. We just hit the discard cable on the right side of the screen, and it'll load for a couple seconds. I'm assuming it's because the actuator is slowly retracting, allowing the cable to just slide out. With that being said, the lifting system is really cool, and I believe for the farmers and the operators that are going to be using T100, it's going to be a useful tool in your set. So the lifting system doesn't cut or use an actuator to remove the cable. It actually burns through it. So with that in mind, every time you detach a cable, you're going to have to replace it. So always keep that in mind. Yeah, you can see here, completely torn. So this would go something like this. Yeah, so it completely burned through it. That's why it took a little longer when it was detaching. Okay, well, it's good to know. That's why you make these videos, guys. Those were the tests for the lifting system. There's a lot of more features that the lifting system has. So stay tuned, subscribe, so you can stay up to date with all these new features on the T. I'm out of breath. All right, but subscribe, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.